I share that in our candidates that they are of the highest level of ethical conduct. And that's all I'll say about that. So I'm going to turn this over to our executive director for the GT Commonwealth PAC, Jackie Colback. Madam Chair, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. So now I would like to introduce Megan Martin. Megan Martin has a breadth of experience like no other for the Commonwealth Court. One of the things that she's done in her career that I find fascinating is that she was she basically managed the state Senate and kept everybody on track. So I would like to introduce to you Megan Martin. So thank you again for joining us. And again, please start out and let us know about your breadth of experience.
Good morning, Jackie. I'm delighted to do that. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much, GT. Before I go any further, you all need to know what an incredible supporter, not only of me, but also of the entire ticket GT has been. And we are just incredibly thankful for your kindness and your support on these very important judicial races. Good morning, everybody. I'm Megan Martin. I'm an attorney from Cumberland County, and I'm your next Commonwealth Court judge. And I'll tell you about my experience. I'll tell you about my values, tell you about what kind of help we could use from you folks. I want you all to know, I share your values. I believe in faith. I believe in family. I believe in freedom. I believe in hard work, and I believe in our Constitution. My parents instilled my values in me, and they are who I am at my core. And I'm going to be a judge for all the people of Pennsylvania. I'm going to be the kind of judge that the people of Pennsylvania need and want and deserve. I'm going to keep politics out of my courtroom. I'm going to be fair and impartial. I'm going to defend the rule of law because we are a nation of law and order. I'm going to protect your constitutional rights and freedoms because the Constitution is, always has been, always will be my North Star. I'm going to apply the law that our General Assembly wrote. I'm not going to legislate from the bench. I don't believe in that. I do not believe in judicial activism. And finally, I'm going to be a Commonwealth Court judge who holds our government accountable, because just as you and I and all the good people of this great Commonwealth have to follow the law, so too does our government. And that's the kind of judge that I'm going to be. And I think that is the kind of judge that everybody in Pennsylvania needs and wants and deserves. And I'm going to bring to the court really one-of-a-kind experience. I've spent the last 3 decades serving in and learning and understanding our government. I'm the only attorney I know who served in all 3 branches of our state government, and I had the honor of my career serving as an attorney for the United States Navy. At the Navy, I was a civilian lawyer, and I was a litigator, and I was a transactional lawyer, and I served 2,600 Navy and civilian personnel on the base where I worked in Mechanicsburg. I was part of a 5-person civilian attorney team for the Navy. As far as my state service, I clerked for a judge. I started out my career clerking for a judge in Pennsylvania, and I learned firsthand how a judge fairly administers justice for all. And I think that's incredibly important. I learned firsthand the importance of the independence of our judiciary, and I drafted the judge's decisions. So I understand and know how to apply the law to the facts and write good decisions that are grounded in the law. I've also had the honor of serving the administrations of 2 of our Pennsylvania governors, the administration of Governor Tom Ridge, and later in my career, the administration of Governor Tom Corbett. And in particular, when I worked for Governor Ridge, I literally learned the intricacies of Pennsylvania's state government, how it works from the top down. And there are very few people who actually have that kind of insight and understanding of how Pennsylvania works. And the reason why that's so important is because Commonwealth Court is a special one-of-a-kind court. I like to say I have one-of-a-kind experience for the one-of-a-kind Commonwealth Court. The Commonwealth Court only hears government cases, local government and state government cases, and there's no other court in the country like it. So it's an incredibly important court, and it impacts the lives of people all across Pennsylvania. If you have a utility issue, a school board issue, if you own a business, if you own a farm, if you have an election law issue, if you think a bill is unconstitutional, if you have a zoning issue, a government contract issue, Commonwealth Court hears those kinds of cases, and those are the kinds of cases with which I have experience. I also know the legislative issues and the legislative process because I served as the parliamentarian in our Pennsylvania State Senate for the last 10.5 years. And for people who don't know much about being the parliamentarian, it's a job where every day you have to act like a judge. It's very similar. You have to check your politics at the doors of our Capitol and fairly and impartially manage the legislative process for the Senate. I always kept the Constitution as my North Star. And to get and keep that job, I had to get elected by the senators, and I was unanimously elected 5 times. So I'm going to bring a more than 10-year proven track record of nonpartisanship and independence to our Commonwealth Court. Additionally, while I was at the Commonwealth Court, I rendered decisions on appeals of just the exact types of issues that Commonwealth Court will hear, and none of my decisions were ever overturned by our Commonwealth Court because they were grounded in the law. So I've got a 10-year track record of making decisions on exactly the kinds of cases that Commonwealth Court hears. So I agree with Jackie. I do think I have unique and one-of-a-kind experience, and that is what truly sets me apart in this race for Commonwealth Court. And finally, why am I doing this and why is this important? I've never run for public office before, so I'm not a politician. I'm a wife and a mom and a lawyer, and I got fed up. I took a huge leap of faith in November, and I resigned my position with the Senate so that I could run full-time for the Commonwealth Court. And I've been working tirelessly along with my team ever since. We're traveling 5,000 miles every month. We visited all 67 counties before the primary, and we're doing it again. We're about 61 counties in. And so I'm really proud of that. And it's been an honor working with this great team on this ticket to get our message across and to reach the voters, because we need good judges. Plain and simple. We need judges who are going to bring common sense and the Constitution into our courtroom and keep the politics out of the courtroom. And we need your help. Please follow us all on social media. I'm on Megan Martin for PA. If you go to Facebook and you share my post, that gets my message out to the people that you know. And spread the word, please, because people regard you. And if you have an opinion on and a recommendation about us, that carries incredible weight in your community. And we appreciate that. We are working hard and tirelessly to get our message out. Our message is a unifying message, I think, for everybody all across Pennsylvania. Everybody should want a judge who's fair and impartial. Everybody should want a judge who's going to follow the law when they render their decisions and keep the politics out. So we have a wonderful message. And I will tell you this, everywhere I go now, people come up to me, they recognize me, and they tell me they voted for me, or they have my palm card on their refrigerator, or they have my sign in their garage and they're going to put it out in the fall. And that's just incredibly validating that our hard work is paying off. So we are working incredibly hard. We appreciate the opportunity to be here today with all of you to tell us a little bit kind of about us, who we are, what kind of judges we'll be, and what our qualifications are. And we couldn't do this without you. We have a rare and precious opportunity to get 4 conservative principled judges elected to these statewide appellate courts this year. So the stakes are incredibly high, and we thank you so very much for all your participation today. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you, Megan. And I'd like to reiterate, please tell me again your website.
Oh, sure. It's Megan Martin for PA, MEGANMARTINFORPA.com.
And again, Megan is not permitted to ask for monies, but I am. So I am going to ask anyone who is willing and able, please donate. Please donate to Megan's campaign. And one of the things that we are doing is taping this recording so that we can share it across the state. And again, reiterate that every one of these candidates needs some financial backing. So thank you very much, Megan. And
thank you, Jackie.
What I would encourage is just to each and every one of us to reflect on what can we do between now and the close of the polls on election day to run that vote count up. Is it reaching out to a neighbor or a family member that just looks, just really doesn't vote, especially doesn't vote in this cycle? We know those numbers can be pathetically low in this cycle. So if we can bend that curve by just 4 or 5%, that's what I call a landslide. And so the opportunity to make a difference has never been greater. I don't ever want to suppress the vote in any way. I just encourage people to vote the right way. And the right way is the Republican way with what this country is enduring and facing right now. Not just on the border issue, which is huge, but certainly crime and restoring safety, law and order to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And so I'm just really thankful for everyone, and I just encourage everyone to go out and continue to continue to do everything you can for the days. It is making a difference. We've got county commissioner races. We've got school board races. We've got, there are just a lot of races out there in the Commonwealth, local races that that is important that we cross the finish line and help those individuals. But everything you do to help these 4 judicial candidates statewide, trust me, that helps down ballot as well. So by helping these candidates, you're helping all Republican candidates throughout the Commonwealth, so that we can make positive impacts on both the politics and the policies of the Keystone State, of the great state of Pennsylvania. And so once again, thank you for being a part of our call this morning.